Hey there, Halloweenies, it's Black Metal Werewolf making my final October video. Oh, it's been a really fun month for me. I've had so much fun doing all these October and horror and Halloween related videos. But since today is Halloween, I just thought I'd make a little video for you guys saying Happy Halloween. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys go to a lot of parties, have a lot of candy, trick or treat with your kids if you have them. If you're young enough, you can go trick or treating. But since it is Halloween, I thought I would share one more ghost story with you guys before I get into my costume and enjoy Halloween for myself. So this is a ghost story from one of my coworkers. One day, me and him were working together, and we were talking about the paranormal, about aliens, about ghosts, monsters, and all that kind of weird shit. And he told me about this one really weird story that happened to his grandmother. Of course, I will leave names and places out of it, but this is his ghost story. So this ghost story dates back to the late 70s, early 80s. My friend's grandparents at the time were a very new couple. They, got married when they were 18, they had a couple of kids, and they had the regular nuclear family thing going on. The wife would stay home and look after the family and the kids, and the husband would go out and work. And he had to work a considerable amount to support his new family. He would work days, nights, and everything in between, because you gotta work to support your family, right? So obviously during that time period, entertainment options weren't as plentiful as they are now. A lot of cable TV wasn't really around. TV in general, there weren't streaming services or the internet. So pretty much the only thing you got were radio, books, and some television. And she was a very avid reader. She loved to read. So one night, when her husband was out at work, she had put her kids to bed, and she sat down with a book, The Exorcist. Now, I'm sure everyone already knows about The Exorcist. The movie is considered the scariest movie ever made, and it is a pretty fucked up movie. There's no doubt about it. But, of course, it's based off a book. So she had the book and she was reading it. So one night, as she was reading it, she started hearing weird things in the house. She started hearing like creaking under her bed. So as she was reading, she just heard a, creaking going on. So she looked under the bed, nothing there. So maybe it was just the house settling, no big deal. So she went back to reading, then she started hearing more creaking under the bed. So she checked under it again, nothing there. So once again, more reading, and then she started hearing the creaking even more. She's like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to listen to the creaking anymore. I'm not looking under the bed, not wasting my time with it. There's not going to be anything there. So after the creaking stopped, she started feeling like the blanket at the end of her bed being pulled. Like something unseen was pulling the blanket. Like, you know what? I'm getting a little freaked out. I'm going to finish this page. I'm going to take a break, calm my nerves. Deep breaths, namaste, calm down. So she takes a break from the book, and then after a while, she calmed down, and she probably just thought it was nothing. So she went back to the book. And that's when shit really got weird. As she was reading it, she described what was a vice-like grip grabbing her ankle and tearing her out of bed. She was pulled right out of bed, and obviously, she got the fucking shit scared out of her. So she screamed, she was terrified, she ran out of the bedroom, woke all of her kids up, got them downstairs into the kitchen, turned on all the lights, and just sat there and waited for her husband to get home. She didn't know what the hell was going on. She wanted herself and her kids to be safe. So they waited for her husband to get home, and then she said, I don't know what the fuck happened. Here's the book. Get rid of it. I don't want this in my house. I don't know where it came from, why this is happening, but get rid of it. So he went and torched the fucking thing. He got rid of the book as fast as she wanted. The book was gone. So after that, everyone calmed down. All the weird paranormal shit in the house stopped, and everybody went back to bed. The next morning, around her ankle, she was bruised. Like something with 3 fingers had grabbed her, like 3 bruises, like something grabbed her and pulled her. And those bruises eventually turned to scars, which she now has until this day. So my friend told me this story at the time, and it was fucking terrifying. It scared the hell out of me. And I can only imagine how the family felt, especially knowing that she still has those scars on her ankle from whatever it was that grabbed her. So he told me this story, and he allowed me to use it. So thank you very much, my friend. You know who you are. So that's my ghost story to finish off my Halloween videos. But I do want to say that I did have a really great time doing something a little different with my channel other than the regular just heavy metal thing. And I do plan on doing more Halloween videos next year. So you can definitely look forward to that if you enjoyed these. But I also maybe even starting a second channel where I talk about other things other than just heavy metal. It's an ideal just floating around in my head. We'll see if I do it or not, if I have enough material to even start a second channel, let alone keep this one going. So, like my past videos, I either do a recommendation or a warning, and so this one, I'm going to do a quadruple recommendation. These are 4 horror movies that I cannot go Halloween without watching. So I may as well start it off with the biggest one. John Carpenter's Halloween. If you've never seen this movie, fucking do it. Stop watching this video and go watch this movie. Seriously. It is an immortal classic. It immortalized Michael Myers as one of the top slasher villains. Some of the sequels aren't the best, but this movie is a standout 100%. 10 out of 10. Cannot recommend this movie enough. The next one we got is Poltergeist, a Steven Spielberg production and directed by Tobe Hooper, the guy who made the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So the scare factor is high, and the production value is even higher. And I heard rumors that the skeletons in the movie are real skeletons, because apparently it's cheaper to buy medical supply skeletons than it is to make skeletons out of plastic. So apparently the skeletons in this movie are real, and this movie does have a curse, because a bunch of the cast members died not too long after this movie released, especially that little girl right there. She is dead now, not too long after this movie released. So if you believe in curses, be careful watching this one. Next one we have is another classic, Sam Raimi's Evil Dead 2. If you've never seen any of the Evil Dead movies, number one is a very low-budget independent film. This one has a much bigger budget, and it's essentially a remake. So if you want, you could skip the first one and go straight to this one. It's funny, it's scary, Bruce Campbell is awesome, all the characters are funny and exaggerated, everything, there's so much going on, it's just a madhouse. Check out this movie if you've never seen it. And my last movie. It's not exactly a horror movie because the scare value isn't the highest, but to me, it's still a Halloween classic because it encompasses the mood and the atmosphere of Halloween. And that movie is Trick or Treat. Not to be associated with the Trick or Treat movie from the 80s. This one came out in 2007. I hear it's getting a sequel, so I really hope it does. But if you've never seen this, it has a very good Halloween-y atmosphere to it. There's jack-o'-lanterns everywhere. It's just a good Halloween movie to watch, even though it's not the scariest thing on earth. So those are my top 4 movies for the Halloween season. But now, I think it's time for me to get into my costume.
This year, I decided to go as the Invisible Man, one of my most favorite Universal horror monsters, so why not try to emulate his most iconic look? But I won't keep you guys, so I hope you have a great night, stay safe, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for supporting me during this October month. I hope to do something like this again very, very soon. So, have a great night, guys, and stay spooky.